This is another submission for the 100-day arts challenge, and for this portrait I'm using reference from Earth's World, which is an Instagram account I always credit, and here is what I use. So it is the backs of frames or canvases often have these pieces of thick paper to them, and on one side it's glossy and designed, and on the other side it's flat, matte and textured with noise, not with actual bumps that you can feel, but a textured type of light on there where it's speckled, and that's what I enjoy. But I start with my pastels and immediately I use ink to sketch out the face, and this is going to be an unusual character. There's lots of unusual characters on the Earth World Instagram account, and I recommend checking them out. If you use any of their references, just give them credit, just like I am here. I'm going to tag them in the description so that you can go and use that link to see their accounts on Instagram, and also show you here their accounts and what the pictures look like. And this character here, I just think some of the people they show look as though they're is it called Animorph type of characters? I don't know if that's the right term, where someone's part human and part animal. And I don't mean to be insulting to this chap, but it just looks like he's turning into something, and I'm not sure what animal he's turning into, but he's just got furry hair all over him in a way, and it's not a beard or anything, it's just, I don't know, you'll be able to see because it's he's just got this look to him, and it's something which appeals to me as a portrait. So I'm not trying to be insulting or mean to this chap at all, but it made it very interesting to me. I'm starting off with a darkish yellow, and it may not look dark here, but as far as yellows go on the spectrum of colour that I have available to me, it's the darkest yellow that I have in the palette, and I start with that because I want to try and blend that with a lighter colour afterwards, and that's what I'm doing here. So trying to create this texture of hair immediately takes noticing the light captured on the hair, and then I have a very warm brown which I can use, which is not especially dark, but compared to the yellow and the white that I just used, obviously the warm brown is tonally darker, and together they create this combination which will make up the hair that I'm trying to describe. And then the grey with the white as well is going to help to create this suggestion of his age and the tonality of his hair throughout the coverage on his head. And it may sound silly for me to say this, but that's what I think makes hair interesting to describe with oil pastels, is the fact that it does have this kind of difference throughout, from the top there into that brown on the sides and then the grey on the sideburns, is what makes the hair quite interesting, and not something which I would have imagined without the reference. That's why I find their accounts so interesting and valuable, is that they offer so much. And you can see the face is kind of all scrunched up, you know, from what I've drawn quickly with my pen. And here I'm going to get in a fairly deep pink, not exactly a light pink, because it's quite a warm colour that I'm trying to get down so that I can blend in some other tones. And I'm getting in quite a dark pink now as well, and getting down darker colours is so that I can build up this tonality on his face and blend them with lighter colours. And I do enjoy using these materials for that process. It is really enjoyable to me, and the pinks for this face are what's going to make up a lot of the complexion. For some characters it's more of the tones or the colours I should say, that you see in the hair, but he has bits of brown that I've started to push down onto the chin, and I do enjoy the interplay of these colours throughout the skin, as opposed to making it all shades of pink and red. To have browns and yellows in the skin as well as pinks and reds and whites, that always to me creates a more interesting coverage with the colour palette that is available to me than when I'm just with trying to describe something with the pinks and reds. So it is a challenge to make this. Now you'll be able to see here what I mean about the animal-like kind of character that I've seen in this person, because it looks to me as though he's been in the costume department for a film and is being turned into something, but this is truly how I'm trying to describe this person, with all of these wispy hairs. And I find it really interesting. It's a lot of character to his eyes as well. He has a lot of emotion coming through in his eyes, and I find people like this challenging to draw, but in a really good way. It helps me grow as an artist, and it leaves me with something which is very unique from my other portraits that are a lot more straightforward sometimes and have very different characters and what they're trying to communicate with the viewer than what I can do with a chap like this, where it's quite a different, almost vulnerability that you can see in the eyes. And I think it's lovely. I think that's really the strength of portraiture, is to show the diversity that is available to us from the people around, and to try and make use of some of these darker, rich colours that we have available to us with oil pastels as well to describe these people is such a joy to use. And I don't know about you, but for me, I just think that's a really interesting and striking portrait, and that is the character that I've been trying to capture there. It's a quick video, I know, I've just been blasting through it really fast, but here we go, the last few touches with some darker tones to try and describe how the shadow collects in the hair, and then just some sort of little touches in the face here, just in the crevices, to describe some of the planes of the face and heighten some of the features as well, which may have been breezed over slightly too quickly. But there he is. I think it's a wonderful face, slight bits of light on the shoulders as well, which I think is quite a nice touch, and just the description of this unique individual who is captured by Earth's World. I love their account. I really appreciate all their references, and I always indulge in these types of drawings and paintings for this reason. So thanks for watching.